So as you can tell, I'm hiding in a closet, guys. It's the only dark room in my house. See the hangers on the floor. And I'm doing this because I want to candle some of these Welsh Harlequin eggs and show you what it is I'm looking for. In case you're new and you're kind of wondering, hey, what am I looking for when I candle eggs for the first time? And so it's really cold and we've been having a horrible freeze and actually lost power twice. So a lot of these eggs did not fare well. So this is an egg right here, a Welsh Harlequin egg. And if you can see at the top, there is a bit of veining up here and a little heartbeat. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for, is this red veining right at the top. This is a good egg for how far along it is. It's a good start to a strong little baby. It really is. Okay, now for the second egg. It's another good example of an egg. And I actually may have just mixed these eggs up. So, there we are. There's the little heartbeat right here at the top. Not exactly where I'd like to see it, but it's still there. You can see the little red right here. So that's also one of the eggs where I would keep it in there just in case, because I'm not certain how it's going to fare along. It doesn't have the veining that I'd like to see, but it does have a little red dot, so it's still a good start. Now this one has the veining right here and has a little heartbeat right there. And so here's one of the veins right here. And that's just a good start. And now I have some eggs that are a little further along, and I'm going to show those to you. Okay, now I'm trying to hold the light on the back side of this egg. And then you can see the veining and that little red circle in the center of it all. That is the heartbeat. That is the baby duckling forming, and that is its heart beating right there. So that's really good. You see the veining, you see the heartbeat. It is much easier to see in person than it is through the camera and the lights. It's actually darker than it looks in the camera here. So let me see if I can cover the light a little bit more. There it is. Okay, so I went and got a couple more examples of eggs. Guys, please be patient with me. This is very difficult in a dark closet. So here you can see the veining is really good in this egg. It's really, really good. The only issue is that where I would like to see a heartbeat, I'm not. So that definitely worries me, but I'm gonna give it some time because it's not extremely dark in here. Because they're not extremely far along, so, but I really should see more of a heartbeat here. I'm not sure what's going on with that. So I'm taking a closer inspection of this egg, and I really don't see a heartbeat anywhere, but I do see this blood ring right around here where the veins kind of stop. You can kind of see it. That's a telltale sign that this egg is dead. There's not a heartbeat, the veining has stopped, and there's a blood ring. That's a pretty bad sign there. So this egg is a little tricky egg because actually it looks like a dead egg, but if you look closer right in here, there's a heartbeat and the veining is pretty prominent. So likely that this egg was one of the last gathered and just has not developed as fast. Some of these eggs were gathered as many as 3 days later than the first set. So it really is important to make sure, in my opinion, that you're waiting a full week on all of your eggs before checking. It will make a difference, trust me. So here's a problem egg. If you look, there's the top of the egg and the veining, but there's this weird bubble right up here. Here, let me see if I can better position this so you can kind of see it. And there's a floating bubble right there. That's a detached air cell right there. The area where the baby would start hatching in right here. This is the air cell. The air sac keeps air in for the days coming up to hatching and when they begin hatching so that they can breathe. Now this right here, it's a break in it. So it's a detached air cell. It's kind of burst. This egg is no good. This is definitely a dead egg. There's no heartbeat. The veining has stopped. You can see the cloud in it. The yolk has gotten dark and yucky. And the air cell is detached. Now, I have about 6 more eggs I'm going to show you because those are very obvious duds. If you're ever in doubt, if you're like, I don't know if this egg is good or not, keep that egg. Keep it, give it a couple more days. You will start seeing very quickly when they are bad. Okay, so here is a clear, what I would like to call a clear egg. It's not a bad egg. It's a little dirty. Nothing's wrong with it. But the yolk hasn't developed. You can basically see through the whole egg, see the yolk. This is well, it may be fertile, but it's not a viable egg, you know? And usually we just say, well, it's probably not fertile. My ducks have a pretty high fertility rate, but it's really cold. These eggs were exposed to some crazy cold temperatures. I can't tell you what's really good and what's not. I can tell you that until my temperatures consistently stay over 50 degrees, I don't think I'll be trying to hatch any more babies right now. Maybe if they do it on their own, but now the temperatures tonight will be another cold night. It'll dip down in 20s, and then after that, we'll be back to our 50-degree nights. So next week we're looking at 77-degree weather. So I may try it then, but right now I just don't think that it's going to be the best decision, especially since some of our new girls are still learning to lay in the coop instead of in the muddy water. They're kind of going back and forth right now, but they're really young. So out of all the eggs, I had 39 eggs in there. I have 18, 19, 21 that are either not fertile or not stopped developing or rotted. And here's one of those rotted eggs. You can very clearly see bacteria building up in it right here. That would be that black spot. That is bacteria. It is a very bad egg. This is no good whatsoever. And this one actually, has a crack at the bottom that I could not see before setting it. So this is a cracked egg. Likely it was it was a damaged egg. I didn't even notice. So that's scary, and honestly, with the amount of bacteria on it, it could really have affected how the other eggs develop. If you have a bad egg, you want to get it out of there as soon as possible. And this is a pretty darn good example of how bad eggs can get. This is another egg that has the kind of the spot of death right there. It started developing at some point, but as you can see, it's building up bacteria, and it did not make it. It is not doing well whatsoever. That is a bad egg. Now, this is another egg that looks like a clear egg, but it has that dark spot versus being nice and clear. This is a reject egg. It's not sure if it's unfertile or not. It could have started developing, but that's very clearly a bacterial spot developing inside of it. This egg has bacteria that is growing inside of it. If you leave these eggs, the first 3 that I just showed you, in your incubator, you're going to have a very nasty mess when that pressure inside the egg builds and explodes all inside of your incubator. It is going to be horrible. And it's really going to compromise any good eggs that you may have in your incubator. This is another egg that started to develop and then stopped, and likely that's because of how cold it got in my living room and us losing power twice, which is terrible, even for a period of time. You know, I really probably should have thrown all the eggs out, but I'm glad I didn't because still have good eggs. You know, I have some that are still doing okay, and I want to give those a chance for sure. Even if I get 2 eggs out of this, I'm going to be thrilled because I raised the parents myself from babies. So these eggs are really important to me. Look at that. So this red spot in the middle used to be a heartbeat and a developing embryo. Then it stopped, and right here you can see the ring of death. And to give you an idea of how cold it was outside in my coop, even though there are heat lamps, some of the eggs froze. The rabbit's water bottle froze, which was insane. We do not experience temperatures like that. My coop is more set up for high temps most of the time because, like, last year I was growing green beans in January. This year, it looks like I need 2 coops. One with plenty of aeration and one for winter, or what my husband and I are working on is kind of solid panels for the wintertime and unscrewing those and putting in panels that have the predator wire so air can flow through, which if you watch any of my coop videos, you'll see those panels, and those are removable. Now, this egg just didn't do anything. Look at that. But you can see it's kind of dark in there, so it's a yucky egg. Okay, hold on. You can kind of see the ruptured ear sac in this one too. It just, you know, and the dark at the bottom, that's a good indication that this is a bad egg. So you can see that's why a lot of people who raise ducks just decide if the incubator has any issues, you lose power even for a little bit, they just go ahead and discard them. Right now, all I can say is at this point, there are only 2 eggs in my incubator that I 100% think will hatch. And about 10 more that I'm like, they're raining and they look alive, so maybe they are. So I'm going to close this up, but I want to say thank you for watching this. I know it's kind of dark and it's a weird video, but I think it would be really helpful for anybody that's trying to learn how do you know if my eggs are good or bad when I'm incubating, what is going on. So thank you for kind of joining in, and I hope that helps you out.